Hello, everyone. This is Wholesome Tea. This is the first episode ever, and we're jumpstarting this year with things that I learned along the way when I started getting into healthy living. And I know it's 2024. It's a new year. Everybody is getting into that. The healthy mode, the new year, the new me thing. Everybody's setting new goals, healthy living goals, fitness goals, exercise goals, eating healthy, all of that stuff that go into healthy living. I know it could be very intimidating sometimes, to jumpstart your healthy living. But I promise you, you're not alone. There are other people that have been there, they've gone through the same thing that you're going through. And I'm just assuming that, if you're listening to this episode, you're just jumpstarting, you started and you failed and now you're making new goals to get back into it. Healthy living is actually supposed to be fun. It's something that you're supposed to be able to enjoy, It takes some time to get into that mode where you're like, I really do enjoy this. And this is a part of me now. And this is something that I really want to do. But let's jump into it. There's a lot of things that I learned along the way, but I'm just going to mention like a few of them. Why did I even get into it in the first place? Let's talk about that. One of the reasons why I got into it was because I felt like I couldn't go on the way that I was going at the time. I was gaining a lot of weight. And with the kind of, with my height and with my age at the time, I felt like all the health issues that I was having, my blood pressure was going out of whack. It wasn't hypertension, but it was pre-hypertension. And also, like I said, my weight, which kind of contributed to my endurance level. I got tired very easily. I didn't want to do anything. I was just home, laying on the couch, and my clothes didn't fit anymore, which was really bad. I had to go out almost every time to go buy new clothes. It was shocking. One day I woke up and my clothes didn't fit anymore, and I was like, "Oh shoot!" And then one of my friends too. That's a different story. One of my friends started making fun of me. One of my close friends. He made fun of me a lot. I'm a Nigerian. We're Nigerians. People don't really care about your feelings like that when it comes to stuff like that. So the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, "Boy, you don't gain a lot of weight." Needless to say, now he's going through the same thing. I mean, I'm not saying that he's fat, but he's finding it difficult to keep his weight under control. So he knows exactly what I was going through at the time. But one of the reasons why I got into it, like I was saying, was because, my weight was going out of control. I was having some health issues. And it was a rude awakening for me because I was having a lot of what they call GERD issues, which is gastrointestinal issues. I was having a lot of acid refluxes at the time, episodes of acid reflux. Let me say that. It was getting bad. At some point, I had to go to the doctor, and my regular doctor was not available at the time. And I saw a different doctor from a different country which I'm not going to mention. Let's just say that they're not very good with customer service. She looked at me and said, "Have you ever thought of losing weight?" And and that was a rude awakening for me. That I needed to do something about my weight. I needed to do something about my health. And at the time, I work in healthcare now. A lot of the things that I know being in healthcare right now, I didn't know those things at the time. So it was kind of confusing. There was a lot of information that I had to sieve through, that I had to filter through. I learned a lot of the things that I learned along the way by trial and error, uh, which in itself is not a bad thing. I feel like it's a good thing because I've had to just, take the bull by the horn and just do it. I would do it, try it, and fail. But along the way, I stumbled on a lot of valuable information, I will say. So, what are the things that I learned? The first thing is, I will hear people say this all the time. Healthy living is not for me. It's just for, it's for few. I can't do it. It's just too hard. It's not supposed to be hard. I mean, I feel like a lot of times people just don't know what they're talking about. Healthy living is for everyone. You can eat healthy. You can exercise. You can get engaged in physical activity, which is another thing that I'm going to talk about. It's another episode that I'm going to do when it comes to physical activities. What's involved in it? Everyone can engage, no matter what your level of fitness is, your age, if you have any kind of illness. There's still a level of physical activities. I use physical activity and exercise interchangeably. They don't necessarily mean the same thing, that's the reason why I'm saying that this is going to be a different episode that I'm going to go into it and explore it. Everyone can get involved in physical activity. Everyone can incorporate healthier choices into their food choices. Okay? So the question becomes, can everyone afford healthy foods? Can everyone afford to go to the gym and exercise? Well, I don't think so, but I feel like if you think outside of the box and you look around, there are so many ways that you can get your exercise in, that you can engage in physical activities, and that you can also incorporate healthier choices into your food. Also, the other thing that I learned along the way is that people always think that there's medication for everything. In most cases, yeah, but I don't get it why you want to wait until it gets really bad and for you to start getting medication. And I feel like a lot of doctors don't do a good job at just telling people the truth, when it comes to diseases and illnesses, and especially the chronic ones that we don't have cures to, because a lot of people think that we have cure to everything. And you getting medication to manage it does not mean that that's a cure. That's not a cure. That's just to keep you alive for a longer period of time. And one of my professors, when I was taking classes to go into the professional program at the time, the prereqs, she had said that at the time that once your organ goes bad, there's really nothing we can do about it. I think she is a medical doctor, and she said there's really nothing we can do about it. We can only keep you alive for just a longer period of time. That kind of stayed with me since then. So I was like, you know what? I want to do everything that's in my power to make sure that I keep myself from getting to the point where my organs are failing. That, I have to get on all this crazy medicine. And for me, working in healthcare, I work with sick people most days. And I see it all the time. Even though they say, oh yeah, we have all these medicines and we have medications for everything. They give you the medication, but also there are side effects to it. Okay, they give you medication for one thing. You have diarrhea, you have constipation, or now you have tremors, or some crazy thing. And then you have to get medication to, take care of that too. So I also understand, because that brings me to the next point. There's a lot of people, like, when you talk to them about healthy living, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, oh yeah, something has to kill you. Or it's like, oh, I know this person was healthy all their lives and they died of so and so. Yeah, of course. We're not saying that it's a bulletproof, but saying that it reduces your chances of getting all these crazy illnesses and to give you a better, quality of life. Basically, it's just to say, hey, look, I tried my best, and also reduces your chances and increases your chances of, living longer, a little longer. So, or having better quality of life, like I said. I see it all the time, almost every day, like I mentioned. There's a lot of people that if they had to redo it again, the best thing that ever happened to me was when I started living a healthy lifestyle, and I was working out. Working out is just the icing on the top, icing on the cake, basically. You work out, you lift weight, you start looking good. You start getting some definitions in your body, and people start saying, "Oh, you look good." So I met one of my patients one time at the hospital. I used to work at the hospital at the time, and he said, "Oh, do you play sports?" I was like, "No." "Did you play football in college or something?" I'm like, "No, I never played anything. I just work out." And this person was waiting for a heart transplant. So I would see him every day at 5 a.m. when I would go draw blood from him, and we'll talk. And one day he told me, he said, if I knew what I know right now, I wouldn't be laying here on this bed. So he basically encouraged me. He said, look, whatever you're doing, it's working. You look good. Continue doing it. Okay. And also to think that, because a lot of people will say, why would they put the medicine out there if they know that it's not good for you? Well, a lot of times they put the medication out there because that's the last result for you to keep you a little longer, keep you alive a little longer. So they also know all these side effects, and they will mention it. If you pay attention to it, they mention all these, side effects. So the most important thing is that there's no one thing that's the sole ingredient for achieving a state of health. So I hear people say this all the time. Oh, take this tea, do this, do that. Oh, you're going to get rid of this, you're going to get rid of that. Of course, there are different things that you can do that can help you achieve a state of health. Is there one thing, one magic pill, one magic equipment that can help you achieve a state of health, that can help you lose weight and get rid of hypertension? And to me, I feel like it's just a waste of time. And when all these people try to sell you all this stuff, especially on social media, on the internet, whatever, they're just trying to get your money, basically. Because if you really go down to the basics, I was reading about this on American Heart Association, which they mentioned key 8 components of life essential, and they broke it down into 2 major areas: health behaviors and health factors. So under healthy behaviors, there are 4 things: eat better, be more active, quit smoking tobacco, get healthy sleep. So basically what they're saying is, for you to achieve a state of health, these are basic things that you need to do. We can go into those things later on, in following episodes, and we can break all these things down: eating healthy, eating better, being more active, different ways that you can keep yourself healthy by, quitting smoking and sleep and all that good stuff. We can go into all of that. But this is just to let you know that there's no one magic pill. There's no one magic program out there. It's just the basics. If you go back to the basics and you just follow these things, that's basically what healthy living is all about. And the second one, health factors. You have to manage your weight. You can't just let your weight go out of control. We already know that, when your weight is out of control, those are the things that predisposes you to diseases. That being said, Does that mean that everyone that's overweight or that obese is unhealthy? No, but we're just saying that weight, when you accumulate a lot of adipose tissue, which is fat, especially your belly area, we have studies that show that when you have a lot of fat around your belly area, surrounding your organs, it just predisposes you to a lot of diseases. You have to control your cholesterol and manage blood sugar, and manage your blood pressure. So those are little things that different aspects, components of life essential. Okay, so those are the things that I found out along the way that, hey, there's not just one thing. There's a lot of things that go into it. And if you pay attention to all of those things, if it's losing weight, you may just see the weight fall off. If it's, blood pressure, if you eat healthy, you sleep better, you're more active, you quit smoking and stuff like that, your blood pressure might just miraculously improve. We don't know. So that's one key thing that I learned along the way. There's no one piece of equipment or exercise or pill that is all a special program that's the magic that can work it. I fell for that too. I bought all kinds of equipment, all those late infomercials that come on TV. Buy this one thing, just exercise for 15 minutes and, you just lose 50 pounds in 2 days. They always promise all of these things. And also the disclaimer or the fine print or whatever, when you buy those things, is that you have to combine it with reasonable nutritional plan. And the people that they use are actors. And if you dig deeper, those people are just doing it to get a paycheck, basically. They're not using they don't use that product to achieve the state where they are. So for example, say, there's a workout equipment that says 15 minutes every day, just use it and you'll be okay. Well, the model that they're using may be doing more than just that machine. So if you just rely on it and say, oh, this machine, I'm going to use it in 15 minutes every day and it's going to make it work. Well, it may not work. And most times it doesn't. So those are the things that I learned along the way. Well, one of the things that I learned along the way. I've also heard people say to me along the way, some people are born to exercise. I used to believe that too, that some people just enjoy it, which I enjoy it now. But initially when I started, I didn't enjoy it because I was out of shape. Every little thing I did, I would run out of breath. And when I lifted weight, it just 2 days, 3 days after, it just hurt. So I didn't have the knowledge of the fact that those were the things that I was supposed to experience in the beginning, and it would just get better if I kept at it. And that brings me to the next point, which is very, very important. I actually discovered that, or I came to conclusion about that much later in my journey, which is consistency and discipline. I would work out for like 3 months, get results, and I'll be like, oh, I'm good. And then for the next 3 months, and I'll be like, I don't need to go to the gym. Oh, I don't need to eat healthy. I look good. I feel good. And gradually, it'll just creep up on me. I start, getting the weight again, getting out of shape. And then after 3-6 months, I'll go back to the gym or start doing it again. And it will become more difficult, especially working out. It'll be like I've never been to the gym. So at that point, I was like, I think discipline and consistency is the key. And also, I stumbled on some people who talk real science and who talk real life and tell you the truth, and they don't sugarcoat it. They don't try to sell you something. I came across them on social media and on YouTube. And one of them, I still remember vividly, it said, "You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're not eating right, and you just want to kill yourself in the gym. It's not gonna work, okay? And if you're eating right and you're not exercising for your heart health and for some resistance for your muscles, you're wasting your time. It's a balance. You have to strike a balance. Everything has to come to play. You have to put everything. There's no one ingredient. There's no one thing. I see a lot of people work out and their diet or their nutrition. I don't like to use the word diet. Nutrition is whack. They don't pay attention to it. They just feel like once they work out, everything will be good. And I also hear people. Another thing that I discovered along the way, or the excuse that people will give is like, "Oh, I know this person, they worked out all their lives and they died of heart attack." Well, we don't know the full story about this person, okay? They could be working out all their lives, but be eating junk and things that are not healthy for them. Or they might have some kind of genetic, issues or some family history that predisposes them to having the medical condition that they have. The point is, which I already mentioned earlier, that when you make healthier choices, basically you're trying to prevent, it's just you doing your own part to prevent the medical issue, the illness, the disease. So when people say, "Oh, this person worked out and they died of heart attack," well, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Does that mean that you shouldn't do it? And because you don't have any problem right now, that's another thing that I discovered along the way. Because you don't have a problem right now does not mean that you won't have the problem. Whatever you're doing right now, especially when you're younger, your body has a way of compensating for these things that will show up later on in life. I mean, studies have showed that. Studies have established that. Recently, I was talking to a coworker that drinks 2 cans of orange soda every day, and I was trying to talk to him about stopping, and he said, "I've been drinking this for like 10, 12 years. I should be dead by now if I was going to die." But what he fails to realize is you could be doing those things for 10, 12 years, but at some point when it catches up to you, you may have gotten to the point where, there's no remedy, there's no saving at that point. So another thing was, I mentioned that earlier, intimidation. Basically, you get intimidated by the things that you see on social media. A lot of these models, a lot of them don't eat just to look thin. A lot of guys spend a lot of time, they don't have a full-time job, so they spend a lot of time in the gym. They have a lot of time on their hands to work out, for the most part. So do you have to look like those people? I discovered along the way, I didn't have to look like them. I could try my best to do all the right things, but the goal for me, at least, and for everyone, I don't think the goal should be to look like that model or the guy that's, lifting 300 pounds, at the gym. So you have to go at your own pace. Go at your own pace. The trick is not to stop. To start small, and you build on the little that you are able to do. Balance is everything. And that brings me to conclusion. Balance is everything. You have to do, like I said, there's no one thing. And that's the main key. That's the main thing that I discovered along the way. There's no one thing. You just got to pay attention to those things. You got to eat well, exercise, sleep well. Your relationships with people, keep stress level down. Even your job, you got to make yourself happy. All those things, I'm going to be exploring them in future episodes. So it's another year, 2024. Everybody's making goals. Like I already said, make goals that involve healthy living this year, because without your health, you can't really do a lot of the things that you want to do. Your job, being there for your family, and taking that trip that you want to take. So we have to pay attention to health and start from where you are right now. If it's taking a walk every day for 10-15 minutes, start from there. If it's incorporating one bowl of salad every day, start from there. If it's, practicing healthy sleep, where you pay attention to when you go to bed, when you wake up, getting enough rest, start from there. Just little by little, at some point you discover that, you get to the goal that you set for yourself. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed my episode today, I want you to follow me on Facebook, Wholesome Tea, and on Instagram, it's the same, Wholesome Tea. And I'll be posting this very soon on Spotify. I'll leave the link below, also on YouTube. And I hope you have a healthy and a wonderful year. Happy New Year, and enjoy your day.